This is the 90 Degree Show brought to you by the Marching Podcast. And now here's your host, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard.
Hello everyone, welcome to the 90 Degree Show. I'm your host Joe Beard and happy to be of service for you. We appreciate all those listening live through iTunes, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, our website, our blog, or wherever you are on the interwebs. At the end of the broadcast, if you decide you like the show, then we appreciate a donation to the network if you feel so in your heart, of course. Just simply go to themarchingpodcast.com and click on the donate button to help improve the show and help build our scholarship fund. This podcast is presented to you by Block Band Music and Publishing, The Edge One Productions, and Double Time Entertainment. We hope you enjoy the show. We welcome you to the 2016 season of the 90 Degree Show and happy to talk another year about our beloved schools. Super excited to be broadcasting in our own studio, and it's been really nice having our own studio for this season. And we're ready to introduce the new format to the show. We're not taking calls in accordance with Blog Talk Radio anymore. However, if you would like to be on the show to talk about the battle you attended, you are welcome to do so and be a part of our recording. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And in this podcast, we say Happy Thanksgiving, and we welcome back our all-star cast of Christy Walker and Rashad Waters, and we talk about what we are all thankful for. I also asked them what they did last week, and we also talk about the 2016 Florida Classic between Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman University. We are not able to holler at anyone that attended this game or the Battle of the Band the night before, so we checked out the various videos to talk about the show. We saw the videos from Showtime Entertainment and from HBCUbands.com. Shout out to them for both doing great things on the road and putting out great products for us to see. A great rivalry between two top programs in the world, and we're happy to see both bands back at full strength. I know that I always talk about the Jackson State Southern being a great rivalry, but this rivalry is outstanding in itself. You can email the show at marchingpodcast@gmail.com, tweet us at marchingpodcast, or follow our blog, blog4.themarchingpodcast.com. You're here with the Marching Podcast, and it's like I don't even know the week because we kind of let go of the weeks this year with the studio, but we getting it back together. But this is a good rivalry week. We are welcome back with our all-star cast. First, the great Miss Christy Walker. How are you doing in this podcast, Miss Walker?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. And the magnanimous Rashad Waters. How you doing in this podcast, sir?
It's all good.
That's all good. That's all good. Good to hear from you guys. It's a wonderful week. So it's really that time of year where people start to be kicking it. You see family members, and it's a really great time. So really excited to talk to you guys about the matchups. But I also wanted to ask you guys what you were thankful for. So, Christy, I will start with you. What are you thankful for?
I'd like to say that I'm just thankful for my health and my family and my friends and just being able to enjoy life, live life in a positive way. Also started a new job this year, so I'm thankful for the opportunities that I'm getting there. Family and friends and health, that's what it's all about.
Okay, just giving you a little round of applause there. So I know that you did start your new job. What, just for the listeners, what are you doing there in your new job?
Well, I am the director of career services at a community college. So, I'm running basically a career center.
Okay, that's outstanding. Mm-hmm. So really good to have you on the show. Thanks again. We know you are knocking it out academically. So it's
I'm
always
trying.
great to have the great Christy Walker on the show. Shout out to Miss Bridget Bell, who's also does the show with us. She is in the hospital with her mom. So I was going to tell her that giving her a little shout out and saying a couple prayers there for her mom and for her and for everything. So, again, shout out to you. And thank you very much for telling us what you're thankful for. Rashad, what are you thankful for?
Man, I'm thankful for my family and also friends, of course, people that are in your life. I'm thankful for success of my company. Again, we are right now sitting at 5.5 years old, actually closing in on 5 3/4 of a year old because we'll have our birthday again in March. Um, I'm also thankful just for opportunities, to be successful and continue to grow myself as a person and to be able to just try to be the best person that I can possibly be for the people out there.
Just giving you a round of applause there as well. Very nice, very nice. I'd like to say, I guess I am thankful for a lot of things. Thankful for my health. Thankful for my kids. And thankful for my wife, family, good friends, and the show. Thankful for the show. I think that we are actually making a real difference in all the things that are going on out there. I'm thankful for television. It may seem, like dumb or anything, but you know what? I'm thankful for television. I'm thankful for video games. Video games are great. I'm really excited, really crunk about this game Destiny that I'm playing right now. It's an old game, but there's an update. And, man, I was up really late last night playing that game because I had to unwind. So, really and thankful for my jobs. Shout out to ESRI. Shout out to University of California, Riverside. Shout out to Crafton Hills College. And shout out to the Marching Podcast. And shout out to you two and Bridget and all the people that have been on the show. I really appreciate you guys and your time just because it's really, really hard having a full-time job and then doing this. But just like Rashad said, he's been now 5.5 years. And Christy, you've been... Well, you're Rosa Parks, so you're like 17, close to 20 years now. So
yeah, I guess you could say that it is close to 20 years.
Yeah, so thankful for the two of you because without your ingenuity here, we wouldn't be at this point. Also, too, we're growing really, really well on Twitter. So if you guys are listening, you have a Twitter page. It's kind of getting off the hook a little bit with the Marching Podcast on Twitter. So you guys can start to follow us and be a part of the interchanges there. So thank you very much for that. Next, I would like to ask you guys what you did last week. So, Christy, what did you do last week?
Well, I had a lot of stuff going on at work, so I had to handle that. As far as games, I went to I know it's not technically the Aggie Eagle Classic anymore, but the A&T and North Carolina Central game. I went to that, and yeah, just gearing up for Thanksgiving and some chill time, some downtime, much needed. Yeah, so that's what I did. Not super eventful, but
that's
it
cool.
was all good.
That's cool. I definitely want to ask you about that A&T Central game. Rashad, what did you do last week?
Let's see here. I'm trying to think because, of course, Comic-Con was last weekend, but I think I may have mentioned that. I'm sure I would have mentioned that on the show, but if I didn't, yeah, I dressed up, went to Comic-Con, had a great time with that here in Durham, North Carolina. I dressed up as Loki myself, say, I am Loki, and I'm burdened with glorious purpose. That's one of my favorite lines. And, I had on my everything, my whole green and a little bit of makeup and stuff, and my wig to make it happen. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh man, I got some pictures, man.
Yes, shout out to the folks that got the Proof Analysis that'll probably be premiering this or releasing this week as well. You guys will be able to see that picture. We actually have Loki himself giving the Proof Analysis.
That's right.
We should have actually. You should have did it in a Loki voice. I'm just not thinking about that. We did it too late. But yes, we talked about. I think you talked about it last week, and you said that you were going. But
Okay.
yeah, you said you were going, but the actual event turned out to have you actually had a good time there.
Yeah, man, it was a great time. We saw so many different people dressed up in a lot of costumes, and there was a lot of art to be sold and a lot of comic books. I think my favorite part, of course, was the comic books. I mean, was the people, excuse me, dressed up. You know, my friends came as Luke Cage, who's basically a black guy in a hoodie, as well as a couple Captain Americas. We had Vision, and we had a couple Supergirls, and my little son, he came dressed as Thor. And so he's only really little, he's only like 3 years old, and he had his Thor hammer, and I was laying on the floor, and he, put the hammer on my chest so I couldn't get up. Of course, I'm surprised that Chrissy didn't mention this, because I'm sure one of her highlights of her week was going to see Fantastic Beasts, which I saw on yesterday. Saturday, excuse me. I really enjoyed it. I haven't really followed Harry Potter like that. I've seen a couple of them. My personal preference, I kind of like this one a little bit better. I thought the movie was lighter than the one I'm used to from the Harry Potters. It was just fun. It was just a fun movie. It didn't have a lot of darkness and stuff to it, and I really enjoyed it. I just can't believe that dude would just walk in New York with a suitcase with stuff in it more powerful than a nuclear bomb, without having good locks on it. But other than that, I thought it was a really good and fun movie. I'm interested to see what Chrissy thought.
Well, I thought it was awesome, but I have to say that I'm biased because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and I was so excited to have like a movie in the Harry Potter universe come out, because although it does not involve Harry Potter directly, it's definitely in the universe, and it takes place before Harry Potter happens, because Harry Potter is in the 1990s, and this movie is in the 1920s. So I was very, very excited about that. I'm actually going to see it again tomorrow. Maybe that's why I didn't mention it. I'm going to see it tomorrow with my dad. Yeah, I could definitely tell J.K. Rowling wrote it. She did a really good job. So, yeah, I'll be seeing it again to catch the little details that I didn't catch the first time because I was excited.
Is this a spin-off Harry Potter joint thing?
No. Okay, so let me explain it to you. So, Harry Potter, he went to school at Hogwarts. That was his school.
Did they have a band? I'm sorry.
That was Hogwarts.
No, but they do have a chorus. Anyway,
okay.
Hogwarts Pride.
See, you can't even say that right. Whatever, man. But anyway, so with Harry Potter, one of his textbooks, like one of the classes that he took as a student at Hogwarts, one of the textbooks was called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And so it's not based off of a novel per se. So the story of Fantastic Beasts the movie is about the guy who wrote that textbook. So it's all in the same universe, but it's not directly related.
So it's like different. It's like a different world.
No, it's just a different time period. Like I said, Harry Potter, that takes place in the 90s.
No, he means
different world. Yeah, from the Cosby Show. It's like the same universe.
Yes. It is. It's in the same realm. Yeah. So there's going to be some characters that kind of cross over, because I think it's like a 5-movie set. Now, I don't know how they're going to make 5 movies out of this, but I'll be there for all 5. But there's going to be some characters like Dumbledore. There's going to be a young Dumbledore there, and, so we'll see.
Dwayne Wade. That's how Dwayne Wayne, he went home to Brooklyn to visit Denise that time. So but it was on the Cosby Show. So the character swapped over. Y'all remember that? And then he found out that Denise was married.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurt. But then that's how he ended up with Jaleesa. Did y'all see that?
He did not end up with Jaleesa. What are you talking about?
Oh, Christy Walker. Dwayne Wade. No, you're right. Okay, I'm getting the names. Y'all.
Oh, come on, man. You got to do better.
I know. It's affecting me. You say that all you people look alike. All that stuff is affecting me, Christy. So
you must drink it with the bros last week, huh?
That and all of the climate around him. You see how it just affects me. Whitley. That's what I meant to say. Whitley. That's how he got with Whitley. Because, I can't tell, just in case, because it's on Netflix, y'all. Y'all go check out Different World. It's really good. So yeah, thank you for schooling me about the same universe and stuff. I'm starting to get into that stuff with the Marvel stuff and all the other movies that come out. It's really, like you say, really fun, really exciting stuff.
Need to write music and drill? Get it on the field. Outfit your band. Keep your administrator happy and still have a life. Encountering drama in the process, ain't nobody got time for that. Let Block Band Music assist you with musical arrangements and drills to fit your band, and also the equipment, gear, and accessories to keep the visuals, music, and marching on point. Contact blockbandmusic@gmail.com and see how this worldwide minority-owned business can uplift your band.
Hi, I'm Julian Johnson, Hampton University graduate, and you are listening to the 90 Degree Show here on the Marching Podcast Network.
So I had some things, and I was going to bounce a couple things off you guys about what happened to me this week. So first thing is, going back in our previous podcast, we talked about the Honda, and we talked about the bands, and we talked about the Boone. We talked about Jackson State. Jackson State apparently is not going, and Alcorn will be taking their place. So it's
So
just
why
like,
is Jackson State not going?
well, word on the street, they said that we are just too much the bomb to go 2 years in a row. So we don't want to start, because I think that we talked about it a little bit, but it's just like having the crowd just getting totally used to you. And I think Bethune, we've kind of talked about Bethune a little bit, how they're just good, but they're boring, but they're still marching, they're doing things well. Well, apparently the admins or the band staff did not want to go 2 years in a row and start to wear themselves thin in Atlanta. They at least want to wait and go like another year. They don't want to go
I don't
2
believe
years
that,
in a row.
But okay, you can continue.
But I'm saying that's just what they
I smell
told
a
me.
rat.
Here's the thing about that. It'd have been different if they did a great job earlier this year, but they didn't. They didn't do a great job. This would have been their year, or 2017 would have been their year to do a fantastic job and really take Honda. They didn't take Honda in 2016. They had, if I remember, this was the year. Was this the year they had the guy with the roller skates and every gimmick in the world? Like, this was not their year. If that's what happened this year, I mean, they were just there. But this season, Jackson State has been great. So this would have been their opportunity to really, really shine at the Honda this year. So that's
I just don't believe that whole, we're not going because we don't want Atlanta to get tired of. Well, if you didn't want to go, then why did you pull your name out of the list of the votes? Like,
well, see, that's a good question. Well, that part, that's an answer. That's a question that I thought about. I talked to Brother Snipes at Miles, and he said that he didn't put Miles in the voting. So that's kind of what I was thinking, like, maybe why were we even in the voting to vote on if that was the case? But so apparently they did win it last year. There was most people, that was kind of the consensus, is that Jackson State won last year. I think, Rashad, you said that you felt that they had the best performance.
I did not say that.
Yes,
Okay,
get him together.
Was that
Get
last
him
year?
together.
The years are starting to run together, but whatever year that they had the guy with the roller skates, that was not the year that they won. Maybe they were good this year. I apologize, Jackson Nation. I can't remember. It's all running together.
Yeah, it was last year, brother. Because that's all. I actually wanted to start the show last year with just talking mad noise. But yes, you might want to check all of your archive podcasts. But yeah, Jackson State won the Honda last year. And that's part of what they're saying.
That was so awesome.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I don't be remembering.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't there. So I just remember what most folks told, including you, Rashad. You said that the Boone won.
No. See, no.
He did.
No.
He did.
Right.
Y'all got to check it out. Y'all, everybody listening to the podcast, listen to last year's show. I mean, everybody told me that. I mean, people was texting me like, man, well, you missed it, man. You know, blah, blah, blah. That was the year to go. But,
you know, this is when I wish we had a video podcast, because if you could see my face right now.
but what? It would be the bomb, because then I take the face now, and then we replay back what we said, and then, like, y'all be like, damn, I guess they did win. You know. I mean, it's not like it's not believable. We are talking about the boom here. You know. So, but honestly.
But here's the thing, though. Like, every time I remember somebody winning the Honda, I remember when the last time Southern was there, and Southern won the Honda. There was no doubt. And I remember the things that they made. I remember the formations they made. I remember when A&T was there, and A&T won the Honda, and I remember the things that they did, the formations they made. I remember when Prairie View won the Honda and the things that they made. I don't remember what Jackson State did.
Well, I remember you saying that they won.
They did JSU Rocks the House. That's what they did.
Of course, and that's enough, especially to the competition around us. But I'm digressing here. But yeah, y'all check that out. Y'all said the Boom won. I agree. There's something else. Well, I don't know if Christy. No, Christy. I don't know if you said. I know Rashad did though.
Crazy.
I know you did, man. I wish there was something else I heard to say that we just want to let it breathe a little bit. You know, that was kind of disappointing. And then you replaced it with Bizarro State. You replaced it with Alcorn. I guess if you wanted something as close to the Boom as possible, you get Alcorn. So I could understand that. But, man, I show, like, some of the bands that we talked about last week, I wish one of them were going. Because every time I see Alcorn, they just remind me of Jackson State. They just so similar. Especially this year. They're really, really similar, especially with the sound. Check out the podcast. Rashad said Jackson State won. Moving on, Omega Psi Phi celebrating 105 years. So root to the brethren and all the bros, Christy. Root to the bros. We had a good time over Brother Fullman's house. Brother Fullman pledged Psi Kentucky State. And we chopped it up with Brother Fullman. The students now for black colleges in baseball, the teams are mostly white. So a lot of white kids are attending historically black colleges and playing on the golf team, playing on the baseball team. Really good thing on that. You guys check out Chopping It Up with Jason Fullman. He went to Kentucky State. You finish your degree at your school and then go to North Carolina A&T to finish up the degree. It's like a dual engineering program.
Yeah, dual degree program. Yeah.
So that's really cool that people can do that. And then they can say they went to 2 black schools. Like, you know, you can had your experience at two colleges. So shout out to them. The other part, I saw an article Bridget sent me about Vanderbilt Marching Band and their homecoming last month. They were playing Tennessee State for their homecoming, and apparently the homecoming halftime show, they only had 20 minutes or whatever, and they had to pick between the bands. So it wasn't just Vanderbilt and Tennessee State battling or a halftime show. The actual Vanderbilt administration selected to put Tennessee State on the field and not even their own band. So I thought that was pretty significant because, I mean, it is their school. Why would you then put the visitor band out there and, you know, they didn't even let their own band play. So I thought that was significant. You know, then again, of course, they probably wanted a better band for their halftime show, so they just, you know, cut out their own. But you normally don't see that. You know, you normally see the other school kind of get cut out of things. So I saw that article. Thanks, Bridget, for sending me that article. And then the last thing I saw, well, Kanye West had a rant, and I didn't know Kanye West voted for Trump, so that was kind of surprising.
You know, he's been hospitalized now. He checked himself into a hospital today.
He did not vote, by the way, but he said if he had voted, he would vote for Trump.
Yeah. Thanks, Rashad. Thanks for clearing that up. I don't want the listeners to know that. I was trying to be funny, but yes. So hopefully the brother is okay. The brother says a lot. The brother's got a lot going on. And then, you know, you waving the Confederate flag all the time. You know, he's kind of sick. So let's pray for him. Praying for everybody. We're praying for everybody. We're being thankful here in this podcast. So that's what's going on. And that was pretty much my week. Oh, you know what? I saw the brother from South Carolina State. An older guy was actually played. He was a walk-on for 4 years, so I thought that was cool. So shout out to him. Moving on, I asked you guys about the Florida Classic. Saw a lot of internet traffic about this particular game, so I was really excited to talk to you guys about it in this podcast. So, Christy, I will start with you. What did you hear about the Florida Classic?
Well, if you would ask me what song was done by either of the bands, I would not be able to tell you. If you asked about like what dance routine was done by the bands, I wouldn't be able to tell you. All I heard about was FAMU hitting the jack opt and them hitting the jack opt, forming the P and the O in jackpot, getting that like switched up so that it read jack opt. And then something like a tuba player had to run on the field late because he didn't know when he was supposed to come on the field. Or really, I heard more about that than the show itself.
I did too. I laughed. I don't know the brother's name, but he's one of your friends, I believe, Christy. But this guy did. Oh my God, it was really funny. So I guess he was making fun of Fam.
Oh, okay. So I don't know him personally. It was something that I shared.
Oh,
but
okay.
It basically was him playing the Reading Rainbow theme, the theme to the show, Reading Rainbow, and like making fun of FAMU because they needed some remedial help after the jack opt incident. So
that was great. I mean, yes, and hopefully I have to try to find that and reshare it. That was hilarious what dude was doing. So shout out to the brother. I thought it was really funny. He had all the mannerisms like dude, and that was really funny. But yes, Jack Opt for Fam.
Yeah, please look at Jack Opt on Twitter. Oh God, if you want to laugh, look at Jack Opt on Twitter.
And I can't wait to go on the 5th. I haven't been on the 5th because, the 5th is a lot sometimes Fam heavy. So I wonder if there are any jokes out there and if, folks is getting mad. This is probably the good time to throw it in there and poke the bear and get some folks, to respond with some ignorance. Now is the time.
These people, the people that I know from FAMU, they're laughing at themselves.
Oh, good.
They know it was ridiculous. Like, how can you not know that's ridiculous?
And did somebody and it's kind of like Rashad has brought this up before in a Prunalysis, kind of like auto-correcting or fixing, like when you notice the lines aren't straight. Wasn't nobody saying, "Hey, y'all, switch real quick, like flip it real quick," like nothing. Right. Yeah, that's too bad.
But it caused me some great laughs. I'll tell you that.
It did. So you guys check out Jack Opt. Scared to sound, almost sound like I'm cursing a little bit. I'm kind of scared to say the word.
Double Time Entertainment. Our passion is music and promoting HBCU marching bands as well as high school marching bands through high quality movie videos and photos. We have worked with BET, Yamaha, Ludwig, Honda Motor Company, and been featured on CNN and Lifetime Network's series Bama State Style. We also help and orchestrate Battle of the Bands with marketing and promotions, and also became the official media team for the Queen City Battle of the Bands in Charlotte, North Carolina. Join Double Time Entertainment on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and now new on Periscope. Music lovers are noteworthy.
My name is Bill Campbell from Wexford, Pennsylvania, 1997 graduate of the Pennsylvania State University and 2003 graduate of the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Currently manager of the Marshall Township Municipal Sanitary Authority, and you are listening to the Marching Podcast Radio Network.
Rashad, what did you hear about the Florida Classic? Oh, snap. Is Rashad on the phone?
Oh, I'm here, man. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you call my name. I'm sitting here listening to the Honda Battle of the Bands from last year.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Come on, man.
trying to see what was said. I want to make sure that if I said that Jackson was number one, then that's what I said.
Yeah, you
I
I
don't
did.
remember
actually
that
was right
person.
there at the part where I was talking about Jackson. So I did have some good things to say, but I'm gonna finish that and see if I said they were number one.
Yeah, you did.
So yes, what was the question again?
We're talking about FAMU and Jack Opt.
Yes. Or what did you hear about the game between Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman?
So I guess with the Jacob thing, I watched it. When did that happen? Like, did that happen during halftime or the battle?
It was
I think
halftime.
halftime.
Okay. Because the video that I was watching at this HBCUbands.com, they actually were showing FAMU's band dancing at that point. I assume at the point when that would have happened. So I missed that. I didn't even see it. I saw a lot of pictures of it happening on the field, and I thought that's really crazy. Or on Facebook, that's really crazy that Jay jacked that up. Like, you can't jack that up. Or jack it up. You can't do that. But they did. And so they'll have to live with that. But outside of that, it wasn't enough to sink FAMU's show. So I did watch the halftime show between the two. Let me start with Bethune real quick. Man, was this really their Florida Classic show?
Uh-oh.
Really? There wasn't anything about that show that made me say, well, at least the first half of the show, I'll say, that made me say, man, we're bringing our very best to the table. This is our biggest competitor. This is our rival. We're pulling out all the stops. There wasn't anything about the show that made me say that. They did have a new fanfare I hadn't heard before. That was cool.
It was nice.
I did enjoy that. Of course, Bethune is always going to have great marching, but they made BCU again. I thought they had gotten away from that a little bit, but they did that. They made a formation on the field. They had some great lines, but lately they've been making some things on the field. They didn't do that. They didn't make Justin Timberlake's bow tie, or they didn't anything. The Dance Girl song was way too short. I couldn't even get into it because by the time it was playing, it was done. The dance routine was cool. That was my favorite part of their show. And the FAMU, that was pretty cool. I like how they turned around and faced FAMU's crowd and made the FAMU on the field. And it was you ugly, use your daddy's son. That was tight.
Oh, yeah,
I got hyped for that. It was the first time, and it was unfortunate. It was the first time I got hyped. 6 or 7 minutes into the show, that was really, really hyped. And the dance routine was good, but quite honestly, it was the Horatio show for me. And the Horatio is the announcer. I believe that's Horatio that's back. If it's the other gentleman who actually met recently, I apologize for throwing your shine away. The announcer was great. He was killing it, all the way through. If he hadn't been there, then it just would have been a dead show. I was really disappointed. Again, I continue to say I am a big Bethune-Cookman fan. I love the quality of their program. I love their marching style. I love their musicianship. But this just wasn't their best. From FAMU came out, and I was listening to a video about self-development earlier today, actually, and was talking about being an interesting person because everybody has everything in everybody's life is so boring. They wake up, life is boring. They go to their boring job, they boring commute, and they have boring conversations. And to make yourself an interesting person. And this is kind of this was really the difference between Bethune and FAM. Because with FAM's show was very interesting because you don't know what they're going to do next. That was so cool. They came out, gosh, I didn't write it down. I can't remember their very first formation that they made was. It was really cool. They made another one. I don't know what it was. But then they made boy, and they had the hand there. And then they switched the letters of O and Y and turned the O into an E. So it went from boy, and then it went to bye. So boy, bye. It's that's really tight how they did that.
And they had a hand up there, too, I think.
Yeah, they had the hand.
Yeah.
And it's and that was the thing about FAMU's show is they kept doing things and you really didn't know what they're going to do next. So, with Bethune-Cookman's show, you really literally could have just let the computer play, walk away, go wash your dishes, go put your clothes in the dryer real quick, and come back and watch the dance routine. Versus FAMU, you dared not do that because you were going to miss them do something interesting. So, really, it was FAMU's show across the board. The dance routine, I did kind of like Bethune-Cookman's Dance Routine a little bit better, but it was really a toss-up there, honestly. I thought both bands danced well. I think maybe it was just the announcer kind of really helped me to push it over the top for Bethune-Cookman, but it's not like FAMU didn't do a really good job as well. One thing, this wrapped it up here. Bethune-Cookman started their show by saying, we're going to dance. No, started the dance routine by saying, we're going to dance, we're going to party like you rattlers are not even here. And that's what they did for the whole show. They just performed like Fam wasn't there. But that's not what you're supposed to do. You are supposed to get up and be at your best for your rival.
That's actually interesting because the thing about Fam, and it's the whole thing with the whole animation stuff, when you have it in your mind, it's the bomb, and then like when you hear someone say, oh, they did that, it's the bomb. But sometimes the execution just doesn't come all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
I like drill, so like I like the formations and the kaleidoscope stuff, and the words are cool, but like I hate how they're transition in the stuff. They look like ants. Like Fam be marching, and then and then it's like, boy, bye, woo, bye, and then they like, oh, look at that, and then it's like, ugh. Like when you watch it happen, it's like, oh, okay. For me, it's after the fact. So it's like exciting that I heard that they did it, but then with you, Rashad, like when you're saying that BCU, like they performed like they weren't there, I felt like, I don't know, BCU seem to have something where they just can't punch Fam in the face or something. Even if they better, it's just like I'm waiting for them to take them out. And you know, Fam was down those years, and BCU just never put their foot on their neck. And that's how I kind of felt. They just had an okay show. I did think the drill was better. I know Fam did all of the stuff, but I did think the drill was better. The BCU's drill was better. They made a diamond formation. It could have been cleaner. It's actually one of the times I haven't seen them be as precise as normal. But I do appreciate the concert piece. You know, they turn into a concert band. Them and Fam do it. And I like that. So I was there. What you saying, Sean?
And FAMU's Happy Feelings, those tubas were going crazy on their Happy Feelings.
That looked awesome. Good. And that sounded good. And you could tell it was different, even though that's probably more of a swag song. You probably shouldn't put that away, Fam. But it sounded good. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I just I like it when Southern plays it. That's all. It was way too concert bandish for me. But it sounded good, though. Like, I can't take anything away from maybe the arrangement wasn't, but just like Southern playing. And, of course, the Boom played it really well in 98. I was actually one of the people that played that, too. Well, but I'm getting off. I'm getting off subject here. I couldn't tell who won, and I really hate to give it to BCU just because of the jack-ops that happened. So I had to mess with y'all about that. I thought that was really cool. I can't say necessarily who was better or whatever, but I'm glad that Fam is back. And I think we said that last week. I'm glad Fam is back, and I'm glad that they sound so good. I just hope that y'all don't start putting like 400 people on the field like y'all did back in the day. Y'all are cool just where y'all are. Just stay like that. Hi, everyone. This is Joe Beer, the Phantom Podcaster and owner and founder of the Marching Podcast. I want to tell you guys about this website, theedge1pro.com. That's DAEDGE1pro.com. This is the website of my man Garrett Edgerson, the media director for Southern University's Human Jukebox. If you want to see great bands and a good idea of the HBCU experience, log into theedge1pro.com. Garrett has photos and videos of events on campus, along with parades of bands of all levels. So check out the Edge One Productions and theedge1pro.com.
Hello, this is Charles Cheese Waters, proud graduate of Rusk College in Holly Springs, Mississippi, and father of the owner of Block Band Music and Publishing. And you're listening to the 90 Degrees Show on the Marching Podcast Network.
Fam did it. Fam did the Mannequin Challenge. And Alcorn did the Mannequin Challenge at the Soul Bowl. I like that. I really thought that was the wow factor. I really like the fact that the bands went into the Mannequin Challenge to end their show. That was the wow joint for me. So other than Jack Opt, the Mannequin Challenge was really, really cool to see that. And it really kind of made the difference with the Alcorn Jackson State game, to be honest with you.
Oh, man, that reminds me that Jackson State played You Name It.
Oh, yeah. We sure did.
Hilarious to me. Shirley Caesar, Hold My Mule. I got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes. I can't believe that Jackson played that song, but it was hilarious.
What song is that from, Christy?
I mean, it's really from the song Hold My Mule by Shirley Caesar, which is really not a song. It's more of like a sermonette. And so, like, Shirley Caesar's talking about, like, I got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes. And then, like, it started catching on. So, like, people remixed it and, were making memes out of it. And I just thought it was funny that Jackson State played it.
Yeah, shout out to the Boom for doing that. I thought it was funny. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Chrissy. And, of course, they did, and this is funny. I ain't gonna lie. I love the Boom, but some things are funny. They love to imitate us marching. So I think that we have the greatest marching style probably in the galaxy because it looked like we like chilling and looked like we like hunched over or whatever. And, perfect plume action. Alcorn actually imitates us march. And it's actually pretty funny. So they did that and they played Get Ready right at the end. And then they went right into the Mannequin Challenge. And that, I got it to give it to you, Bizarro State. That was tight. I mean, that they might have won the halftime show on that one. Outstanding. So I do like the Mannequin Challenge as far as providing that wow factor. So, Christy, anything to say before we sign off in the podcast?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Have a safe trip if you're going out of town. I'll talk to y'all next time.
Shot, anything before the close out?
Yes, let me clear my throat here.
You need a cough drop? Need a Sucrets or something?
I would like to announce that upon further review, going back to the audio, I did indeed say that, but Jackson State, the Jackson State University, was the best band at Honda 2016. So, round of applause, 2016. Too bad y'all won't be there next year. I'm saying, I really think, for real talk, I mean, seriously, I really don't think they should be allowed to do that without having a financial penalty. Because, real talk, some people go to, well, not some people. People go to the Honda to see certain bands. And Jackson State is one of those bands that they definitely would be excited to see. If they're going to see Jackson, all of a sudden Jackson just decides not to go, and these tickets have been sold already, like that's a big deal. You know what I mean?
That's huge. That's actually correct.
What you say?
I said you are dead on correct because that's part. It's still it's still a show, so you still have to put the card with tight people on there. And that's part of your attraction. That's part of the pool going there. But no, you're dead on. But go ahead, finish what you say, because I just thought of something about Christy. But go ahead, Rashad.
I mean, I really think there should be in the contract, like once you say, okay, we're going to be on this list, and then you decide, hey, we're going to go, because obviously to me they were selected to go. So I would assume that Honda would have contacted these bands to say, hey, you have been elected to go. Can you go? I would assume that all of that would have been worked out before they put on the website that Jackson State was selected to go. And if that's the case, once a band has been selected to go, in the contract, there should be a financial penalty for you deciding not to go. Because that does hurt the entire performance. Because Jackson State is a name that's recognized across the nation. There's so many people that have been excited to go there and see that band. And, disrespect to Alcorn State, because they really have come up over the last couple of years. But people don't know them like they know Jackson State. And that's a real hurt. There might be people that might decide not to go to Honda.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
no,
in the meantime, though, I will say again, congratulations to them on 2016. Yes, I have Thanksgiving coming up. we all have Thanksgiving coming up. I'll be going out of town, spending some time with my family as well, and thankful for a lot of things, and I pray that everybody will enjoy their Thanksgiving time with their family as well.
That's outstanding, Rashad. Yeah, man, that's actually something to think about because, yeah, Christy brings up a good point. Like he said, like, why were they even on the ballot? Another thing I thought about, Christy, and this is just deep down me trying to keep it real with myself.
Oh, boy.
Maybe they didn't want to see A&T? I don't know. I mean, maybe they knew that A&T was going to have a dope halftime show and that there's not a stand battle to crank on them with. So it's like, maybe we shouldn't do it. Maybe we should wait. I'm just throwing things out there. I'm just throwing it out there.
You know what?
You say A&T's a fantastic piece.
Comment. I'm gonna hold comment.
Oh man, see, Chris, you're supposed to be like, "Yep, that's what it was." So yeah, thank you guys. So I'm again thankful for the two of you, thankful for the family, and hope that everyone is safe. Be safe on the roads, and we got the Bayou Classic coming up. So let's see.
And that's something I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for the Bayou Classic. That's always great. That's the thing that got me into. There would not be a Prune Juice. It would not be a Block Band, music and publishing. It wouldn't be a me showing up on this show every week without the Bayou Classic. That is the single performance, the defining moment of my life when it came to me starting to develop an interest in show style bands. Bayou Classic. So I thank you for reminding me of it. I'll make sure I will be checking that out.
Definitely. And remember, I'm excited too because we all thought that Grambling kind of won last year. Well, Grambling won the Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see if Southern is just literally going to just blow them away. Like they so mad about last year, they ain't gonna face the crowd. They gonna face Grambling and just blow. And they're gonna see if Grambling leave. So we're gonna see if Grambling can hold up. I'm rooting for you, Grambling. I'm pulling for you, Grambling. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or a patron to the Marching Podcast, please contact the show and we'll give you the criteria so we can start to pub your business using our platform. We'll play your commercial, we'll post your website on our blog, and we'll help send out your information through social media. So contact us so we can help build your business. Really good conversation with Rashad and Christy again about the Great Florida Classic. And shout out to Showtime Entertainment and shout out to HBCUbands.com for providing that footage for us to see. And again, have a good and safe Thanksgiving. And we'll talk to you again when we're ready to talk the Bayou Classic.
Hi, I'm Julian Johnson, Hampton University graduate, and you are listening to the 90 Degree Show here on the Marching Podcast Network.
My name is Bill Campbell from Wexford, Pennsylvania, 1997 graduate of the Pennsylvania State University and 2003 graduate of the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Currently manager of the Marshall Township Municipal Sanitary Authority, and you are listening to the Marching Podcast Radio Network.
Hello, this is Charles Cheese Waters, proud graduate of Russ College in Holly Springs, Mississippi, and father of the owner of Block Band Music and Publishing. And you're listening to the 90 Degree Show on the Marching Podcast Network.
That's all the time we have for this podcast. Thanks for listening. Check out the website and donate what's in your heart to themarchingpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Thanks to you for listening. And remember, the lectures you deliver may be very fine and true, but I'd rather get my lesson by observing what you do. See you next time.